Hi.
Hi, are you sure this course is just for 2499?
Yes, and you know this is the only course with this expertise across the world.
No way!
Yes way. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Yes.
Hey, what do you mean by a self-paced course?
Well, the course material is available in the form of video lectures. And there are multiple practice problems that come along as well. So, you can access all of it anywhere, anytime. And they are available to you for lifetime.
No way!
Oh, yes way. Don't delay and enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Yes.
Hey, what do you mean by a self-paced course?
Well, the course material is available in the form of video lectures. And there are multiple practice problems that come along as well. So, you can access all of it anywhere, anytime. And they are available to you for lifetime.
No way!
Oh, yes way. Don't delay and enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hi.
Hi, are you sure you can prepare for product based companies through this course?
Yes, sitting at home?
No way!
Yes way. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hi, and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today, we would be doing the post contest analysis of GFG Weekly Coding Contest 120. So, basically, when I just started off, I don't know why the electricity went down. So, I just tried to lag the whole stream for 2 or 3 minutes so that the electricity would fall back into place, but still it didn't, and I had already started off the stream itself, so kindly bear with the low lighting of the environments. Okay, fair enough, let's move forward to the feedback of this problem. When I solved up this problem, the very first one seemed to be a too easy problem. The second problem, if you are well acquainted or well versed with different data structures, then it would seem to be on a little bit easier side, and there are particular patterns to that particular data structure which confirms the presence of that particular question. That is basically stack. And the third problem was a very interesting problem. If you didn't had a pen and paper, it would have been a little bit difficult to solve up the last problem. So I would just show you the intuition of most of the problem. So let's start off with the very first problem. I don't think much explanation is necessary, so I would most probably move forward with problem statement and then just show you the code and move forward to the next one. Okay, so I think we are good to go. If the audio issues or something else opens up, I need to just remove the stream itself. Okay, so let's start off. Just let me know if any issues is popping up. Is it possible? Okay, weird islands. Yep, let's start off. So basically, it is told that there are two variables. Okay, if and one person has picked it up. Okay, there are two variables and one person has picked it up. If the person that has picked up is even, then it is a boy. If the person that is picking it up is an odd, like the value is odd, then it is a female, that is a girl. And else it is that the gender cannot be specified. Okay, like let me tell you that this is very simple. Like a boy would pick both as even, both the values as even only. If a boy would only pick even elements, then both the instance he would just pick up even elements. If a girl picks up the value, then both the times she would pick up the odd value. But if the other person is picking up odd as well as even, that means the gender can't be specified, unspecified gender. Okay, that is why this problem solves up the problem. So basically you just need to see if the two variables, if both are odd, then it is a boy, then it is he. If both are even, then if both are odd, then it is she. If both are even, it is he. If it is odd even or something, then it is gender not specified. So I don't think live implementation is necessary for this. So I would just show you the code itself. Anyone's code would solve the purpose. Yep, the last person's code. Yep, this is good enough. Okay, so basically to see if a number is even or not, the only small concept that is used here is we just check up the modulo operator. So if both are even, then it is she. If both are odd, then it is she. If both are even, then it is he. If none of the neither it is he or she, then it is as not specified, that is punished. Okay, this is the solution itself. I hope it is good enough to go. Quickly give me a one and I would just fall back to the next problem. And I think it is good enough, like a very simple one. Okay, so just quickly give me a yes or no if this is good enough or not. Yep, just quickly give me a one. Just give me quickly one. Yep, don't worry. I would move forward with the intuition of the last problem. Don't worry. It's fine. Okay, good enough. I would move forward with the given flow. Okay, like first, then second, then third. Okay, now let's move forward to the last one. This is a little bit on the interesting side. Okay, so this problem is a very interesting problem if you have already solved problems over stack. Okay, so now if you see, the question tells us that and okay, so I would just write the very first test case, and that is good enough. Yep. So G E G W E K and E K. This is a good enough. Okay, like this would solve the purpose. Let me present the screen itself. Good enough. Now it is told that in this problem, what you basically need to do is you need to remove the geek recursively. अर्थात हिंदी में समझा जाए तो just translating the same in Hindi would be that I need to start picking up geek and all the values would just fit in place. Okay, like let's say I am sitting there. Okay, let's say this is a metro. Okay, and let's say everyone, this is a place for 3 people and 4 people have squeezed in at this position. Like it is a common scenario. You are sitting in a metro, that seat is meant for 3 people, but now 4 people have squeezed in. So let's say I remove up this people. If I remove up this people, then all the three would now sit comfortably, okay, and they would just squeeze it. So in the same manner, what you need to do is, if I just, so it is told that we need to remove the person known as geek, and rest all person would squeeze in, just like the metro. One person went outside and all the person would now sit relaxed in a relaxed position. So in the same manner, if I just remove g double e key, this is geek. So if I remove of this, then this would become something like geek again. Why? Because these all values were left in and now they would squeeze, just like that happened in a metro. So if I remove this, that is, this is geek and I need to remove geek. So if that is removed, that place won't be empty. What would happen? People would now sit back. Okay. Let's say this is me and this is my friend and someone was sitting here. Okay. Someone was sitting here. Now he went down into a certain station, let's say botanical. Okay. So after that person is gone, I would come after him. Okay, that was, I would fill its place, so no place would be empty up till that point. Okay, so what would happen is, if after I remove geek, again I would have something like geek, again I have geek, so again I can remove this and this string would be empty. Okay, so what we basically need to do is, what we can really do up till this point is, see, we can start processing this string one by one. Okay, like if we do this on a pen and paper, we can simply see that what should happen. We have seen G, then we have seen E. Okay, then again we saw G, good enough, then again we saw E, again we saw E, and then we have G. At this point we saw that the last all the elements, okay, like all the previous elements are G double E K, that is K. So what I can really do is, I can remove up this geek, and again, and I can just keep a counter of 1. And then at this point I have done the processing, so again I would keep E, again I would keep K. At this point again, when I have received geek, I need to again remove this and I would increase the counter to 2. After this, if I'm left with something, then the value would be -1. If I'm not left, then I would just return the count. Seems simple. But when we would think to implement it, there is no data structure like the static data structures, so-called so-called array. We can't really remove the elements. Okay, removal of elements is not there. Okay, so we need to think of something else where, okay, like this is pretty easy to figure it down. But now let's think about implementation. So what we really need is, we need insertion of an element. Okay, because we were processing it, we need insertion in the last. We need insertion in the last. Now, while inserting, if we see G double E K towards the end, we need removal of the last. We need the removal of the last element. Done enough? Insertion. And if we see something, we want removal of the element. But when we hit something like G, we need the access also to see if the last, like let's say I am processing K. If the current element is K, I would see if the last 3 elements was G double E or not. Like what I meant to say is, like let's say we started processing in this format, like G, then E, then G again, and then E, then again E. Now when we are seeing K, it might be a scenario that the last 3 inserted values were G double E. So we need the access to see these elements also. After that, if it is G double E, then we need the removal, and if it is not, we need insertion. So we need the access of the last element also. So we need a particular data structure where insertion at the last, removal at the last, and access at the last is there. Whenever we are operating with last, we should always, this tells me that, this kind of gives me the intuition that this problem is of something known as stack. Why? Because stack is a data structure where removal, insertion, and access of the last element is done in the most efficient fashion. That is why we should think of stack at this point. So now the algorithm becomes very simple. We would start stacking up elements in the stack. Whenever we see a k, we would see if the last three elements were GEE or not. If it is, we would remove them. If it is not, we would continue with insertion. At the end, if there is some element on the stack, we would say it is not there. Thank God light came up. So I would, at this point, I would just remove the screen sharing, and I would just, okay. So now let's talk about, like, how would the pseudocode look like. What is the basically the intuition of it, in the same thing in Hindi, just wrapping up it up in Hindi. So मैंने देखा, मैं जब प्रॉब्लम लिखने लगा तो मैंने देखा कि जब भी लास्ट में गीक आ जाए उसको निकाल दो, फिर मुझे ऐसा डेटा स्ट्रक्चर चाहिए जो बगल में आके स्टैक अप हो जाए और वो बीच वाली जगह हट जाए। ठीक है, अब आगे आगे वो बढ़ते रहे। अगर लास्ट में ये सब हटाने के बाद अगर एलिमेंट खाली रहता है, इसका मतलब सही से है। अगर नहीं है तो अगर नहीं है तो बच गए एलिमेंट्स तो हट गए। ओके, so what we would be now, let us see how we would really, so this is cool enough. Yep, whenever we are seeing, so now let us move forward to the implementation. Am I clear or not? Just let me see the comments and all. Okay, बहुत ज़्यादा comments है. Okay, so I need to abide by the rules, because it might be a scenario that you are not able to solve the third problem and you are excited for the third problem. But there are many coders who were not able to solve the second problem. They would have a kind of demotivation. So just for their sake, because I was also once a beginner. Okay. सर वो दोनों बच्चे वाले प्रॉब्लम्स थे। Okay, let's move forward. Please don't write the same message again and again, because I don't want pollution here of the message. Okay, now let's move forward to the implementation of this. Thank you so much. थोड़ा सा समझो भाई, मैं कर देता हूँ, हो गया, बस अब इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करके कर लेता हूँ। जब 1.5 घंटे का कॉन्टेस्ट दे सकते हो तो 10 मिनट वेट भी कर सकते हो ना। 17 मिनट ही अभी हुए हैं। थोड़ा रील चला लो, इसको रख के, इसको ऑन रख के थोड़ा देर रील चला दो, बट ऐसा मत करो, ये थोड़ा अजीब सा लग रहा है। ओके, थैंक यू। Okay, make the string empty. So now what we would really do is, we would say, okay, so we would do something like, okay, so I don't think the explanation is, the coding part is required of C++. So I can directly show you the code. I would write the code of the, yep, let me explain you this code itself. Or else, no, I might face a backlash. I might face a backlash. At this point, what we can really do is, we can have a stack of characters and we would name it as st. And what we would do is, we would simply start with for int I is equals to 0. Okay, and we would say int count is equals to 0 at this point. Or let's say, let's have this as answer. Initially, we have not popped up anything here at this point. Okay, So now I would say while I have not processed up all the elements, while s is less than the size itself. Okay. So now I would say while there is some other element than k, then we would simply start pushing up elements. अगर k नहीं है मतलब पीछे e e g ढूंढ के कोई फायदा नहीं है. So we would simply insert it. Okay. So while I is less than equal to size, we would simply have a while loop at this point, and then s of I is not equal to k. While we don't acquire k, जब तक k नहीं दिख रहा तब तक पिछले एलिमेंट को एक्सेस करने का कोई मतलब नहीं रखता. Simply सारे एलिमेंट्स को रखते जाओ. So what we would do is st dot push the current of s of I. After pushing the element, we would simply increment the value of I. If the control reaches here, that means the value is k. Okay, so this should be a character k. Okay, that means either this value is k or it is out of bounds. There are two scenarios only. Okay, so the first, we would handle the first scenario. If something is out of bounds, then what we should do, if I is greater than equal to s dot size. Okay, if I is greater than equal to s dot size, or at this point s of I is not equal to k. Okay, if I dot size, then what we should do is we should return -1. Matlab, if something is not k and we have reached up this position, then either I has finished or the value is k. So first we would say that the I has finished. So if I has finished, मतलब वो pointer last तक पहुंच गया, मुझे k मिला ही नहीं. So if I'm not able to find k, that means there is no point in fighting GEE. So I would simply say that this is not possible. Okay, at this point. If I am at this point, if statement has not worked, then only I would reach at this point, because अगर हो जाता तो वहीं से return हो जाता. If I am at this point, then that means that value is k. So now I would say that if I would simply take out the elements in the stack. If st dot empty, okay, or st dot top is not equal to the value e, okay, that means it is no. That means I can't remove the value -1. So I would say not -1. Else I would simply pop out that element. The same thing we would do. So G, currently we are at K, so previous element should be E, E and G. So this should be again E, good enough, and this should be equal to G. So the last two elements should be E, E, and then it should be G. So we should remove it. Okay, else we would just simply pop it. After doing everything else, at this point we have popped up something, so we would increment the value of answer. If we have some elements that is still persisting out there, then we would say if st dot size is not equal to 0, okay, or let's st dot empty, okay, return -1, else return the answer. Simple enough. Did I make mistakes? S of I is not equal to k. Okay, so let me just see. Anyone has found any issue up till now? Okay, while I is less than size and s of I is not equal to k, then st dot push s of I. Good enough. Okay, this should be s st dot size. Okay, s dot size, s of st dot push. Else if I is greater than size, or s of I is not equal to k, return -1. equal to k, and then we need to do something like I plus plus. Yep. Now let me see. While I is greater than equal to size, or s of I is not equal to k, return -1. If st dot empty or st dot top is not equal to e, return -1, else st dot pop. Okay, it should be here. I plus plus. Then we have three if statement st dot pop st dot pop e return -1, then st dot top and answer plus plus. Now let us see, this should work. Yep. Yep. Done. Okay, so small mistake how I recovered it. Let me just tell you. So basically, we were processing the elements. Okay, but we forgot to do I plus plus. Like the next pointer should be on the next element, not on that element. Okay, so we were forgetting the value of I plus plus. So after all this is done, if the statement does not hit, then we move to the next element, and then we check all of this in the next one. So to make this simple, what we can really do is, instead of putting it here, it also, that would be completely logical, that in the next while, this should be I plus plus. And this should also work. Yep, this is also like after doing everything, just do I plus plus, because this is a while loop. Or else you can simply do I plus plus at this point also, so that you are more clear with this. Okay, but let's not do it. So by the way, there are two things that needs to be told. You can use a simple if statement long itself, but I have used three if statements individually to make the code look simple. Okay, so that's it. So I would provide you this code also. Take this. Where is the IDE? C++ compiler. Okay. Sir, can you explain why you are pushing? Okay, so now I see a lot of screens here. Sir, I don't see solution pop more times. Topic if although sorry by topic. Okay. Someone is, I don't see solution. Check out solution for the next question. Okay, sir, please explain. Counting all occurrence of G, why doesn't this approach work with this condition? Because counting all occurrence of GEEK, because it might be a scenario that GEEK, it might be a scenario that there is something like G at this point, KE. Okay, like it is EEK, but after that it is G. EEK, this would fail for this approach. See, if the string is something like EEK and then G, you can only remove GEEK in this fashion only. You are not told that you can remove G individually, E individually, K individually, and this. That is why this would fail in this. Yours would fail in this test case. Okay. Do I make sense? Shubham. Sir, can you explain why are you pushing I? I'm not pushing I at any point. I am pushing just the character at that point. The only position where I'm pushing is this one, and here I'm only pushing the characters. I'm jumping all the characters in the stack. I'm not pushing I anywhere. Okay, please share the code. Done. Can you explain briefly again? Sir, why didn't we pop after k just like we did for other? Sir, why we didn't pop? Why we didn't pop after k? Okay, so why didn't we pop after k as we did for? So I can show you a more simpler one would be this one. Wait a sec. If you want a more simpler, that would be of the problem setter. So basically, बहुत नीचे जाना होगा प्रॉब्लम सेटर का ढूंढने के लिए बहुत नीचे चले जाना प्रॉब्लम सेटर वाला मिल जाएगा सबमिशन ओके सो नाउ कम्स द मोस्ट इंटरेस्टिंग प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे इंट्यूशन की गेम ज्यादा है okay anything more you want to ask if you have more further questions you can okay this is the condition e multiplied by 2g or no okay sir why it is throwing tle it won't throw tle I can submit you again I can submit again in front of you it won't ever throw tle I can guarantee you that okay let me just submit it again it might be a scenario okay so now it's time for a third problem itself a third problem is very much interesting okay now let's move forward with the intuition itself here in this question this is an interesting problem let me just write out the test cases okay ये वाला क्वेश्चन में काफी मजा आया मुझे पर्सनली बहुत दिन बाद ऐसा क्वेश्चन मिला okay so this question was like the problem is very interesting okay now let me just write the test cases 3 2 1 5 and the value of d is equal to 2 and n is equal to 4 okay good enough stop sharing अब इंट्यूशन पे बात करते हैं ओके थर्ड प्रॉब्लम को जावा में भी इंप्लीमेंट करूंगा डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट श्योर okay let's start off here it is told अच्छे से समझना here it is told that current we can swap the values of I and I plus d okay I plus d modulo n okay we can swap I with I plus d modulo n and we can just swap the value and by swapping that value by doing this operation however number of times can we make this array sorted or not what I meant to say is let's say this value is 0 this value is 1 this value is 2 this value is 3 good enough so now let's start off let me take a okay so this is 0 so 0 plus 2 is equals to 2 so I can swap 3 with 2 3 with 2 so I can say that I can swap 0 with 2 so after swapping 0 and 2 that is how so what I can do is I can keep here 1 I can keep here 3 so that is how we can simply see that after doing this approach it is 1 2 3 5 okay this is how we can say yes the value is yes okay this test case is just to make you feel that you can't really go to the solution okay so now after this what we really can do is just this was just the explanation of the test case now let us see this Let's say the given value is 1. Like, let's just write the elements in the opposite order. 1. Okay, like let's just write 1. Like, let's understand this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and the value of d, let's say there are 7 elements and the value of the d is 3. Okay, so I can say, look at this very carefully. Okay, this was the first intuition. Okay, the very first intuition is I can only swap this value with 0 plus 3 is equals to how much? 3. 3 plus 3 is how much? 6. 6 plus 3 is how much? It is 9. Okay, 9 modulo 8 is how much? 1. So again I can swap this. 1 modulo 3 is how much? I can see this. 4 modulo 3 is how much? 7. Okay, 7 modulo this is this. Good enough? Didn't make sense. Now we can see that we can really arrange them. Like 5 would also, 2 plus 5 is again 2 plus 3 is again 5, and we can really do it. Now let's move forward to something more. Let's say there are 8 elements. Okay, and this time the value is something like 4. Okay, so now we can see that we can really, like, this element, this particular element. Okay, let's not have it. We can see that this particular element can be swapped with 4. Okay, 0 plus 4, that is, we would fall here. Okay, then 4 plus 4, again 1, 2, 3, 4, again we would fall here, again we would fall here. Seems good, but we can see that we can always rearrange the elements. Let's say only this and this 1, 3, 7 can be rearranged among themselves. Okay, like we have seen something. Okay, so I can, let's say 0, 3 and 7 can be rearranged among themselves. So what I can really do is I can, let's say, let's keep some values, otherwise it won't make sense. Okay, like let's say the elements are 7, 5, 6, and let's see some unsorted arrays, then it would make more sense. 2, and then let's say 7 again. Okay, and then 3 again, let's say. Okay, the sorted version would look something like this. Was what? 5, let's say 5. The sorted version is nothing but 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7. This is the sorted version. Now let's say that this value can be swapped with this value and this value. Okay, like I can only swap these 3 values, and this value can again be swapped with this value. Okay, like we can only swap elements in this. Like 7 can be only swapped, this position can be only swapped with this. थोड़ा सा crux, talking the same in Hindi. अगर आप देखोगे तो अगर सेम इंटरफेयर आप नहीं कर सकते. लेट्स से द वैल्यू इज 0. 0 plus 4 is equals to 4. 4 plus 4, let's say the value of d is equals to 4. 4 plus 4 is equals to 8. 8 plus 4 is equals to 12. Okay, 12 plus 4 is equals to 16. Let's say there are 15 elements. Like let's say there are 16 elements, so again it would go to 0. बना ही देते हैं. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now let's say the value of t is 4. Okay, so 0 plus 3. Okay, 3, the value is 3. Okay, good enough. Now let's see up this. Okay, so see, this value can only be swapped with this value, this value, this value, and this value. Okay, makes sense? Like we can only swap the values among these all green values. We can only swap up this. Okay, इसी सब में घूम सकते हैं. One can only go to 4th place or 8th place or 12th place or 16th place. One सिर्फ यही सारे पोजीशन पे आ सकता है और कहीं और नहीं. ओके, अगर डी का वैल्यू 3 है, वन सिर्फ 1, 4, 8, 12, 16 के पोजीशन पे ही आ सकता है और कहीं और नहीं आ सकता. मेक्स सेंस? ठीक है. इन द सेम मैनर, in the same manner, in the same manner, 2 can only go to 5 positions. Okay, in the same manner, what we can really do is, if you observe, 2 को सिर्फ और सिर्फ 2 plus 3, okay, 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. Okay, 5 plus 3 is equals to 8. 8 plus 3 is equals to 11. 11 plus 3 is equals to 14. 14 plus 3 is again 2. Okay, मतलब ये सारे एलिमेंट्स अपने में घूम सकते हैं, नॉट एनी अदर एलिमेंट्स. मतलब 2 ये वाली एलिमेंट यहाँ पे जा सकती है, या यहाँ पे जा सकती है, यहाँ पे जा सकती है, या यहाँ पे आ सकती है, कहीं और नहीं जा सकती है. दिस इज व्हाट आई मेंट टू टेल यू. Because I can swap up only I and I plus t. I and I plus t. So I से लेके ये सारे पोजीशन पे I can't really by no means मैं 2 को यहाँ पे रख सकता हूँ. ठीक है, 2 either 5 पे आ सकता है, 8 पे आ सकता है, 11 पे आ सकता है और 14 पे आ सकता है, कहीं और नहीं आ सकता. Okay, do I make sense? One can also go to 3's position. One can also go to 3's position. How? 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. So 1 can only go to 4's position, not 3. फिर से देखते हैं. ध्यान से देखना. If I am at this element, 3 plus 4, 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. 6 plus 3 is equals to 9. 9 plus 3 is equals to 12. 12 plus 3 is equals to 15. Okay, 15 plus 3 is equals to 18. 17, 18. So let's say I have this. So we can only cycle between these elements. Okay, 3 can only come to 6 position, 6 can only put 9 position, 9 to 12, 12 to 15. इसी पे घूम सकता है, not any other element. Okay, no other element. In the same manner, let's set 17 also. This would. Let's see more. Let's see more. Again, let's say the value of D is something known as 2. 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. 5 plus 3 is equals to 8. 8 plus 3 is equals to 12. 8 plus 3, say 8. Okay, I'm missing here 9. Okay. Silly mistake. Just a sec. Let me just write here 9. Okay. So 5 plus 3 can only go to 8's position. यहाँ पे आ सकता है. 5 plus 3 is equals to 8. 8 plus 3 is equals to 11. 11 plus 3 is equals to 14. 14 plus 3, okay, is equals to 17. Okay, so let's say again this position. So it can only cycle up this. I plus D, what I meant to say is, at this point, this value I can be swapped with I plus D. can be swapped with I plus 2d, can be swapped with I plus 3d, can be swapped with I plus 4d, modulo n at all position. And let's say after something, again it can go here. So I can only move to I plus d, I plus 2d, I plus 3d, I plus 4d, and again it can come to I. By doing this, we can rearrange elements among I to I plus d's only, not anyone else. Okay, because I can be swapped with I plus d modulo n, nothing else. Okay, it is mentioned in the question, like it would seem something like this. Okay, similarly, for index I, so in the same manner, for index I, this would be the scenario. For index I can move to I plus d. No, I'm not writing modulo n again and again. I plus 2d, I plus 3d, and let's say after some element, after some iteration, we are again falling back. Then for j, it would be again j for a value j also, it would be d, then it would be j plus 2d, then it would be j plus 3d, and then it would be j plus 4d again. Okay, for a value k can only be swapped with k plus d, k plus 2d, k plus 3d, and k plus 4d, and at this position. मतलब ये cyclic घूम रहा है ना, modulo n is there, so either it would be cycles, so there would be one cycle. Okay, so यहाँ पे एक साइकिल बनेगा, इसका एक साइकिल बनेगा, इसका एक साइकिल बनेगा, मतलब टोटल नंबर ऑफ कंपोनेंट्स हमें गिनने हैं. दिस इज जस्ट लाइक अ ग्राफ प्रॉब्लम. Okay, this is just like a graph problem where only I with I plus 1, I plus 2d, I plus 3d, ये सारे elements अपने में rearrange हो सकते हैं. All the elements in this particular component can rearrange among themselves. ये सारे ही अपने में rearrange हो सकते हैं. All the elements from this cannot interfere with the element of this. Okay, this is just like a graph problem because I can only interfere with I plus d to I plus 2d, and this can just go a cycle kind of thing. So it can be seen that the elements inside a particular component can rearrange among themselves, but no other elements can swap with each other. मतलब ये अपने एक कंपोनेंट जो है, अगर एक कंपोनेंट बनेगा, ऐसा हम लोग एक कंपोनेंट बना दे ग्राफ का, तो ये सारे एलिमेंट्स अपने में रीअरेंज हो सकते हैं, बट ये एलिमेंट उठ के क्या कभी यहाँ आ सकता है? नहीं, ये अपने अंदर एक एक कंपोनेंट बन के बैठा हुआ रहेगा. Do I make sense? What is the intuition of this? Like how we are falling into this position, and then we would talk how we can really implement this. But ये वाली clear हुई. If it is not clear, I would take one more example with a real life scenario जिससे चीजें और clear हो जाए. Give me a quick yes or no. अभी के लिए वन बेस्ड इंडेक्सिंग समझ रहा है, इसलिए मैंने जीरो बेस्ड वन बेस्ड हटा ही दिया. We can also sort this graph separately, sort this component separately, check the final array without the graph. This is what we would do. But still, but is the concept clear? Like ग्राफ बनाना है कि नहीं बनाना है वो अलग बात है, बट ग्राफ का कॉन्सेप्ट यहाँ पे किक इन होना चाहिए. दैट प्लीज एक्सप्लेन अगेन. Yes sir, can you go a little bit more in deep? Okay, sure. Let's take one more example. Okay, let's say I am told, like let me think of an example, like I plus 2I plus D, I plus 2D, I plus 3D. I plus 4D should be again this value is 0, 0, 0, 0. So modulo 1, 2, 3, modulo what would be 0? Let's say the value of I is equal to 4. Okay, so this would be 4, this would be 8, this would be 12, and 12 plus 4. Okay, modulo that value should be equal to 0. 0 plus 3. Yep, here the value of D is equals to 4. Value of D is equals to 4. The size of the element is, let's say, 16. Size of the element is 15. 0, 0 plus 4, 12. Plus 4, 16, which would make me fall into the 0th element again. Yes, this is good enough. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now let me see this again. 0, then 0 plus 4 is equals to 4, 4 plus 4 is equals to 8, 8 plus 4 is equals to 12, 12 plus 4 is equals to 16, 16 modulo 4 is equals to again 0. Yes, this is good enough. Ab theek hai. This is a very good example. Let's say there are the value of number of elements are 16, the value of D is equals to 4. बहुत दिक्कत से ऐसा टेस्ट केस बनाना पड़ा. Okay, so now let's see एक बार एग्जांपल से अच्छे से समझते हैं. If I am at the 0th index, then that value can be swapped with only 4, and this value, see, this value can be swapped with this value can be swapped with this, and 12 plus 4 is equals to 16. 16 modulo 4 is again 0. So I can say, let's see this with an example. Okay, so I can say 0, then 0 plus 4 is equals to 4, 4 plus 4 is equals to 8, 8 plus 4 is equals to 12, 12 plus 4 is 16, 16 modulo 16 is equals to again 0. Okay, so I can cycle elements among them. So I can, if I want to keep 0 at this 4, so I can keep here, then 0 को अगर मैं यहाँ लाना चाहता हूँ, I can again swap this with this. अगर मैं 0 को लेट से यहाँ लाना चाहता हूँ, मैं 0 को यहाँ से यहाँ ला दूंगा, सिर्फ और सिर्फ बबल सॉर्ट जैसा. पहले 0 को मैं यहाँ लाया, फिर 0 को मैं यहाँ लाया, फिर मैं 0 को मैं यहाँ लाया. 0 को जहां मन रख सकते हैं, ये सारे जगह पे. Do I make sense? In the same manner, what I can do is I can take up this value. 5 plus 4 is equal, I can take up this value. 9 plus 4 is equals to 13. 13 plus 4 is equals to 17. 17 modulo 16 is equals to 1. So we would again come here. So 1 5 पे जा सकता है, 5 9 पे जा सकता है, 9 13 पे जाएगा, 13 would again come to 1. एक और समझते हैं. इतना मेहनत करवा दिए, अच्छा खासा मेहनत हो गया इस प्रॉब्लम में. अच्छा, इसी के लिए तो हिम्मत बचा रहा था. Let's see again. 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. 6 जा सकता है, 6 plus 4 10 पे. 10 जा सकता है, 10 plus 4 is equals to 14 पे. 14 plus 4 is equals to 18. 18 modulo 16 is equals to 2. So फिर से यहाँ चला जाएगा. तो अगर आप देखोगे तो 0 0 यहाँ पे समझते हैं, ये वाली चीज क्लियर रखना। n इज इक्वल टू 16, d इज इक्वल टू 4। यहाँ पे छोटा सा लिख भी देता हूँ फिर से, n इज इक्वल टू 16, d इज इक्वल टू 4 है। ओके, अब अगर आप ध्यान से देखोगे, फिर से वही चीज नीचे लिखते हैं। 0 can be moved to the position 4, and then 4 can be moved to position 8, 8 can be moved to 12, 12 plus 4 is equals to 16, 16 modulo 0 would seem something like this. Okay, अब 1 plus 4 is equals to 5, 5 plus 4 is equals to 9, 9 plus 4 is equals to 13, and 13 plus 4 is equals to 17, 17 modulo 16 is again equal to 1. Okay, so अगर आप देखोगे, अगर आप ध्यान से इस चीज को देखोगे, तो ये 0 उठा के 4 पे ला सकते हैं, 4 पे उठा के 8 पे ला सकते हैं, 8 उठा के 12 पे ला सकते हैं। बेसिकली एक कंपोनेंट के अंदर हम जैसे चाहे एलिमेंट्स रीअरेंज कर सकते हैं। हाँ, नंबर ऑफ स्वैप्स ज्यादा होंगे, बट मैं हटा के उधर उधर कर सकता हूँ। बट क्या मैं 0 को कभी भी 1 पे ला सकता हूँ? 0 वाली चीज को कभी भी 1 पे ला सकता हूँ? नहीं। क्यों? क्योंकि 0 4 पे जा सकता है, 4 8 पे जाएगा, 8 12 पे जाएगा, फिर 0 पे आ जाएगा। नहीं हो सकता। इसीलिए एक कंपोनेंट के अंदर मैं एलिमेंट रीअरेंज कर सकता हूं, बट दूसरे कंपोनेंट के एलिमेंट से रीअरेंज नहीं कर सकता, वो सिर्फ अपने अंदर रीअरेंज हो सकता है। अब बताओ, हो जाऊंगा भाई। ओके, चलो फिर से करते हैं, 0 से लेकर 10 तक लिखते हैं। चलो ठीक ठीक है, ठीक, आराम से। ये क्वेश्चन काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है। 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 और 16। okay, 15 तक जाएगा। there are, let's say there are 16 elements, n is equals to 16 and d is equals to 3। ठीक है, d is equals to 3। so now I can say that this particular 0 plus 3 is equals to 3, d is equals to 4, not वही वाला एग्जांपल यूज करते हैं, d is equals to 4। इसको फिर से हटाते हैं, d is equals to 4। so let's talk about the index 0। 0 can be swapped with 0 plus 4, that is 4, 4 plus 4, that is 8, 8 plus 4, that is 12, 12 plus 4, that is 16, 16, 12 plus 4 is equals to 16, 16 modulo 16 is again 0। so मैं 0 को यहाँ पे ला सकता हूँ, फिर 0 को यहाँ से यहाँ पर भी ला सकता हूँ, फिर 0 को मैं उठा के यहाँ पर भी ला सकता हूँ। मतलब 0 को मैं ये 4 एलिमेंट में कहीं भी रख सकता हूँ। 0 can be moved to 4, 0 can be moved to 8 and ऐसा। और ऐसा मैं 4 को भी कहीं पे भी रख सकता हूँ ये सारे इंडेक्सेस पे, 8 को भी कहीं पे भी रख सकता हूँ ये सारे इंडेक्सेस। ठीक है, इन द सेम मैनर 1 को उठा के मैं 5 पे रख सकता हूँ, 5 से 9 पे रख सकता हूँ, 9 प्लस 4 इज इक्वल्स टू 13 पे रख सकता हूँ, 13 प्लस 4 इज इक्वल्स टू 17, 17 मॉड्यूलो 16 इज इक्वल्स टू 1। तो फिर से ये 1 पे चला जाएगा। ना 1 को मैं 5 पे रख सकता हूँ, 5 को 9 पे रख सकता हूँ, 9 को 13 पे रख सकता हूँ, 13 प्लस 4 इज इक्वल्स टू 17, सो फिर से यहाँ पे रख सकता हूँ। मतलब 1 को मैं 5 9 3 पे भी रख सकता हूँ, सिमिलरली 5 को भी मैं 9 13 1 पे कहीं पे भी रख सकता हूँ। मतलब इस वाले कंपोनेंट के एलिमेंट्स को मैं रीअरेंज कर सकता हूं, इस वाले कंपोनेंट के एलिमेंट्स को मैं रीअरेंज कर सकता हूं. What I meant to say is, what I can really do is I can take up the elements of 0 and I can put it to 4. Similarly, I can rearrange the elements in all this particular thing howsoever I want, but I can't rearrange 12 with 1, or can't I rearrange 8 with 1. Okay, they can rearranged among themselves but not with any other component. ये component जैसा बनेगा. Okay, let's see the last one. 2 can be swapped with 6, 6 can be swapped with 10, 10 can be swapped with 14, 14 plus 4 is equals to 18, 18 modulo 16 is again 2. So again I can say 2, 2 से जाएगा 6, 6 से 10, 10 से 14, 14 से 18, 18 modulo 2 is equals to 2 again. I can only swap among all 4 elements. What I can really do is I can only swap in all these 4 indexes with each other. Like the index 12 cannot be swapped with index 10, but index 12 value can be swapped with 8's value. Do I make sense now? Okay, seems simple. Here the index 0 is also considered. Like let's say there are 6 elements, but because of 0 based indexing, there are situations where we can visit all the elements. Yes, if there is all the elements, then all the elements would form a single component and we can rearrange among themselves and it would say yes. Okay. Do I make sense? Quickly give me a 0 or 1 at this point. समझ आया कि नहीं? अर्थात हिंदी में समझा जाए तो क्या होगा, 0 4 पे ही आ सकता है, 4 वाले 8 पे ही जा सकते हैं, 8 वाले 12 पे ही जा सकते हैं और 12 वाले 16 हो जाएगा तो फिर से वो 0 पे आ जाएगा. मतलब वो अपने अंदर तो एलिमेंट्स रीअरेंज कर सकते हैं, बट दूसरा जो सेट ऑफ सर्कल है उससे उसके इंडेक्स से एलिमेंट्स रीअरेंज नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि वो कभी उस इंडेक्स पे आएगा ही नहीं. वो अपने अंदर इंडेक्स रीअरेंज कर सकते हैं, बट वो कभी इधर से रीअरेंज नहीं कर सकते. 2 बार 3 बार समझाया तो just give me a quick one at least so that I can have a validation of my own. Okay. Chalo. I think I can just turn on the AC a bit. Okay. So I can take up elements 4, 4, 2, 8 and 8. So I can only rearrange elements in a particular component. I can only rearrange elements in each of the individual component. Like एक component के अंदर वो सारे elements rearrange हो सकते हैं. Nothing else. Okay. So what I can do is, see this. What I can really do is, how I can form up this. Okay. I would say I would keep a visited array. Okay. I would start from 0 and I would keep 0 here. Then 0 plus 4 is equals to 4. It is not visited, so I would keep 4 here. 4 plus 4 is equals to 8. I would keep it here. Then 8 plus 12, 8 plus 4 is equals to 12. I would keep it here. And I would maintain a visited array. नीचे mark कर दे रहे मतलब visited array. The small marking which I am doing is of visited array. 12 plus 4 is equals to 16. 16 modulo n is again 0. Again we are seeing one more visited thing. So at this point we know that a cycle is formed. So all the elements on that particular component is done. Let's go to the second one. We see that 1 is not visited, so I would keep 1 here. 1 plus 4 is equals to 5, which is not visited, I would keep it here. 5 plus 4 is equals to 9, I would keep it here. 9 plus 4 is equals to 13, I would keep it here. 13 plus 4 is equals to 17, which is equals to 17 modulo 16 is equals to 1. Again, we have the same index which is already visited. We would just pause at this point. We would move forward to the next element. It is not visited up till now, so we would ask 2. Okay, 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. 6 is not visited up till now, we would select 6. 6 plus 4 is equals to 10, not visited up till now, we would take 10. 10 plus 4 is equals to 14, not visited up till now, we would take up that. 14 plus 4 is equals to 18. 18 modulo 16 is equals to 2. Again, we are seeing 2, so we would pause at this point because it is already visited. Okay, whenever we see a same number which is already visited, we would pause at that point. Okay, we would now move forward. We were done processing till 2. Let's move to the third element. Third is not visited, so we would keep 3. 3 plus 4 is equals to 7, so we would keep it here. 7 plus 4 is equals to 11, we would keep it here. 11 plus 4 is equals to 15, we would keep it here. 15 plus 4 is equals to 19. 19 modulo 6 is equals to 3. 3 is already visited, so we would pause again. Now, we would go to 4. 4 is already visited, we won't do anything. 5 already visited, we don't do anything. 6 already visited, we don't do anything. 7 already visited, we don't do anything. 8 already visited, don't do anything. In the same manner, we would go till the last element, and now we have all the indices. Okay, all the indices of different components. Now what I would do is I would take out the value, okay, and I would sort them. Okay, whatever values are there in this, I would sort them. Okay, whatever values यहाँ पे exist करते हैं, I would sort. Okay, let's say 0, 8, 4, 12. I have sorted it. After sorting, I would put back those values in the array. क्यों? क्योंकि मैं सिर्फ यही 4 इंडेक्स में रीअरेंजमेंट कर सकता हूँ. 0, 0, 4, 8, 12 पे ही आ सकता है. 4, 0, 8, 12 पे ही बैठ सकता है. 8, 0, 4, 12 पे ही बैठ सकता है, कहीं और नहीं. तो इनके अंदर में रीअरेंजमेंट हो सकती है, एंड आई वुड सॉर्ट इट एंड आई वुड पुट बैक टू द ओरिजिनल एरे. इनके अंदर में रीअरेंजमेंट हो सकती है, आई वुड सॉर्ट ऑल द वैल्यूज हियर एंड आई वुड पुट बैक टू द ओरिजिनल एरे. Similarly, I would do for everyone, put back to the original array. After I have all the elements put back in the original array, and if they have a sorted format, then this can be done, else it can't be done. Why? Because the elements of all this, any of the index of all this can't interfere with this one. Okay? Makes sense? So this is how we would do. We would take all the elements, we would sort it, and we would put back in the original array. I would stop at this point and I would move forward. Oh, let me just turn this on my phone too. Otherwise, I would keep forgetting. Done. Okay. Now what I would do is I would start from 0. Nothing is visited up till now. So 0 plus 4 is equals to 4. So I would write 0, and then 0 plus 4 is equals to 4. 4 plus 4 is equals to 8. I would keep 8. 8 plus 4 is equals to 12. I would keep 12. 12 plus 4 is equals to 16. 16 modulo 16 is equals to 0. Again, we are seeing the same visited element. So we would say, we would stop at this point. Now we would go to the second element because 0 is not processed, because whenever we see a visited element again, we would stop. Again, we would go to 1. Okay. 1 plus 4 is equals to 5. 5 plus 4 is equals to 9. 9 plus 4 is equals to 13. 13 plus 4 is equals to 17. 17 modulo 16 is equals to 1. Again we are seeing a visited array. जब भी फिर से visited आ जाएगा we would stop because एक cycle की तरह form हो गया. Okay, why are we stopping? What is the intuition of this? ये भी बता दो. सोचो मैं यहाँ से निकला, यहाँ से निकला, यहाँ से निकला, यहाँ से निकला, फिर एक ही पॉइंट पे अगर मैं आके रुक गया, that means वो एक गोल चक्कर है, तभी मैं आके फिर से वही पॉइंट पे आके रुक जा रहा हूँ. This confirms the presence of a cycle, so I say yes, this component is done. In the same manner, I would go to the second element. I went to the second element. 2 plus 4 is equals to 6. 6. 6 plus 4 is equals to 10. 10. 10 plus 4 is equals to 14. We would do it. 14 plus 4 is equals to 18. 18 modulo 16 is equals to 2. 2 is already visited. मतलब वो एक गोल चक्कर है, तभी से वो पॉइंट फिर से हम देख लिए. मतलब basically let's say we are lost in a forest and we are just making a circle. If I'm making a circle, I would see one thing again. So if one thing is seen again, we would say we need to stop at this point. Then we would go to 3. 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 4 is equals to 11. 11 plus 4 is equals to 15. 15. Okay. Then we would go to 4. 4 is already done. Then we would go to 5. 5 and 9 is already visited. Yeah. 13 is already visited here. So 5 nothing 9. After this point we would go to 4. 4 already visit ho chuka hai. 5 already. Okay. 7 already visit ho chuka hai. This is how you would have this. And then I would sort all these elements among themselves, and then I would put back to the original array and I would see this. Okay. Now let's move to the coding part. Now I won't remove the screen sharing. Oh, let's remove just the cap, keep the tab. Is it possible to sort the array? Yeah. Okay. I would make it. I'm a very lazy person, so would make it A again. Okay, at this point, what I would do is to keep up that adjacent wala thing, I would say int of, let's say, a set of integers, because that would keep all the values sorted. Okay, and I would name it as man. The integer के साथ set as. Okay. Now I would say vector of integer bull, vector of integer, and I would name it as the visited array of size n with each value as 0. Okay, an array of size n where every value is 0 at this point, initialized with 0. Now I would say for int I is equals to 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. Okay, if I have not seen up this element up till now, if I have seen up this element up till now, visited of I, if I have seen up this element, then I would simply continue, like ignore this. If I've already seen up this element, we would ignore. Else, we would start from that point. So we would say st is equals to I. Like we would move forward till we see a point again where we have already seen. Matlab, let's say we are making a circle in a ground. When we say that one round is complete, when we see something again, so we would say until and unless I am seeing something again, I would keep visiting. I would say visited of st is equals to true, and I would insert it in the form of list. एक लिस्ट बना रहा था ना, ऐसे ऐसे ऐसे. I would just insert st, and I would increment the value of st. St is equals to st plus d modulo n. Okay, and this would make what again, go to the slide again, 0 4 8 12 1 5 9 13 2 6 10 14 3 6 11 15. Okay, ऐसा कुछ होगा. After this point, we need to have all the elements in that particular component, sort it and put it back to the original array. We are only inserting index at this point. Now what we need to do is we need to do something like auto e dash np. Okay, and we would simply keep a vector here current. This is just a temporary array. We would dump all the elements in the current, sort it, and then put it back to the array itself. Now we would say for auto, we would iterate on that list. Okay, for auto e dash for auto e dash, let's keep it as it dash it dot, we would do current dot push back the value of a of e. We would push it back to the current element. Okay, after we are done with the pushing part, we need to sort the values. मतलब एक component के अंदर तो values rearrange हो सकते हैं ना हमेशा, so we would sort this particular component. Okay, cur dot begin comma cur dot end. एक component के अंदर हम लोग हमेशा sort कर सकते हैं. Then we would write in k is equals to 0. Okay, and then we would put back the elements on that original array. For auto e dash it dot second. Okay, and then we would say a of e is equal to current of k, and this would be nothing but k plus plus. Okay, बस current पे फिर से value जाके रखता, and this is done. सारे values को sort किया, फिर array को array पे जाके रख दिया. After that, if the array returned is sorted a dot begin comma a dot end, then it is true, else it is false. We already have in C++ STL, so it won't make an issue. So now let me see. Good enough. Done. So पूरा एक list जैसा निकाल रहे हैं. Then we keep it in the current array. Then we sort it. Then we put back to the original array. If after putting it back, if the array is sorted, we would say it is true, it can be done. Else we would say false, it cannot be done. Simple enough. This is what it is all about. I would give you the code in the form of IDE. अब I need to give the same code for Java. Let me write the same. Let me show you the code for Java. I can't really. Let me just see if this is working or not. I have copy pasted it from ChatGPT. Should work. So might be some internal issues, but this is how the code of Java implementation would look like. This is just pasted raw from ChatGPT. We have made an integer of map of set integer comma set. We have filled all the values with 0, and then we have started iterating. We push it in a hash set. Okay, and then we would just keep all the values. We would put it back. So I think you can just see it why this is not working. Might be a very small issue. Long time back, I have left Java. Okay, this is how the same code would look akin to that. This is just to give an idea how the syntax would look different, but this is basically the correct idea. Okay, from this time I'm enjoying. Okay, okay. From that time I'm enjoying Samistha Kakshi. This is injustice to me. GFG doesn't allow plagiarism to. क्या हो रहा है पता भी नहीं चल रहा है. Okay, I don't know. What are you talking about? I don't know this. Bhaiya, once dry run, the elements can be rearranged among themselves. So we are just taking out the elements, putting it back. I'm not going to the submission in Java. Yep. Please run with an example. The example is very small enough. Still, I would just do it. So see, this is 3, 2, 1, 5. And the indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3. So d is equals to 2. So the value is 0, 2, 2 plus 3. 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. 4 modulo 4 is again 0. So it would be kept here. And 1 and 3 would be kept here. Good. This is the given array. This is how the two list would look like. What is the element at index 0? The element at index 0 is 3. So we take up 3 in the current array at this point. What is the index? What is the element at index 2? That is 1. So we take up this. Now we sort up this element. After sorting it, it would become 1, 3. Now we put it back to 0 and 2. So we put back 1 at position 0. We would put back 1 at position 0 and we would put back 3 at position 2. Done. Then we would take up the elements on 1 and 3. If we take up elements on 1, it is 2 and 3, it is 5. Then after sorting it, it would be 2 and 5 only. We would put back 2 at index 1. We would put back 2 at index 1. We would put back 5 at index 3. We have put back index 5 at index 3. After this, the array has become sorted. So we would say, yes, this is possible, else this is not possible. Do it for a larger array and this would be fine enough. Done? Any more thing you want from me? Sir, can you find the problem with priority queue? Yep, it can be also done with priority queue. Thank you so much. So today there was one small comment that I didn't like. Okay. Just okay. So just a small thing. Can I share a screen share? Okay. Just a small thing. This is a public platform, and these all words doesn't really fit into place. Okay, like there are international peoples watching this, and if they see the translation of this, they would feel that a student is talking to the teacher. Okay, at this point I'm your teacher, so this is how a student is behaving with a teacher in India. This is the very first thing. This is why I don't promote this. आप मुझसे comfortable हो, it is fine, but make that, at least respect me. I'm not telling me, I've never told you to ask me sir or something, but at least respect this. The second most thing why I didn't like about this comment is not because I'm representing my country. The second most thing is, this is a Sunday evening. Tomorrow I need to wake up early and I need to go to my office back again and do my SD job from Monday to Friday. Okay, I'm doing this only for myself. I'm missing out on all the parties on weekends or something. It might be a scenario that I might be a very bad person in my personal life, but at this point, you know that I'm sacrificing something over this. So काइंडली वो वाली चीज ऐसे नहीं आती है कि मतलब बढ़ गई. ओके, फ्री की चीज नहीं है, थोड़ी तो मेहनत है एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. मैं 10 बजे यहाँ बैठ रहा हूँ, कल 10 बजे इस पॉइंट पे ऑफिस का खाना खा रहा हूँ. Okay, so I don't have a personal life even of this. So these all comments try to avoid. No हार्ट फीलिंग्स, जस्ट पसंद नहीं आता, मतलब अच्छे नहीं लगता. मतलब आप सेक्रीफाइस करो और दूसरा ऐसे तमाचे मार के जाए. जस्ट दिस. That's it for today. So there were two scenarios, but I missed the screen sharing thing. I apologize from my side, but I tried to make it as intuitive as possible. There is one more solution with GCD, but that didn't seemed intuitive to me. That is a more optimized one and a shorter code itself, but that didn't intuitive to me. This fits with the current constraints, and this problem has been seen multiple number of times. That is, this problem is a graph problem, but no one would ever tell you that this is a graph problem. So the GCD was not intuitive, that is why I didn't explain this, but this was intuitive. आपने देखा कि एक के बाद एक जा रहा है, तो एक कंपोनेंट है, वहाँ का एलिमेंट्स यहाँ से इंटरेक्ट नहीं कर सकता है, इसका मतलब दो अलग अलग कंपोनेंट है. ये पूरा सॉर्ट हो सकता है, ये पूरा सॉर्ट हो सकता है, बट एक दूसरे पे सॉर्ट नहीं हो सकता. इसीलिए मैंने इसको पूरा सॉर्ट किया, इसको पूरा सॉर्ट किया, एरे पे वापस रखा. अगर ये कंपोनेंट्स अपने आप में सॉर्ट होने के बाद वो पूरा एरे सॉर्टेड बन जाता है तो सही है, एल्स इट इज नॉट. It is not sorry or something. This is because you are preparing for an SD. ऐसे गुस्सा हो जाओगे किसी दिन तो मीटिंग में शायद निकल सकता है SD जॉब के बाद, तो थोड़ा आराम से रखो. ओके, थैंक यू सो मच. Sir, practice should have a moderator. Do you think so? To be honest, I too think so. But I also think that the freedom of speech should be given. Many a times ऐसे होते हैं कि घर वालों तक पे गाली पड़ जाती है फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच देने के चक्कर में, बट फिर भी ठीक है, अच्छे लोग हमेशा बैठे हैं, ज़्यादातर अच्छे लोग ही रहते हैं. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच रहे ताकि मैं किसी को दबा ना सकूं. इट हैज़ बीन अ वेरी रेयर सिनेरियो दैट आई हैव ब्लॉक्ड समवन आउट देयर इन द चैट. सो मैं चाहता हूँ फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच रहे, मैं चाहता हूँ थोड़ा पॉजिटिव क्रिटिसिज्म भी है. हाय Nakaj, I still remember you. That's it for today. Thank you and have a nice day. Goodbye everyone.